Ever since the Two Older Boys I've Loved Before movie came out, I have been watching it non-stop. So I'm really glad that someone has created this tag because I'm so excited to do it. I will leave the creator down in the description bar below, so go check that out. But let's just get into the questions. I just realized I don't know the questions, so let's just try and find it on YouTube. Question 1, Kenny from Camp, aka your first book love. For my first book love, I think it's no surprise to anyone because I talk about it all the time, but that would be the Goosebumps book. Particularly this one, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. This was one of the first ones that I read when I was younger. I think this is also one of the scarier ones that I've read from Goosebumps. I know Goosebumps is a lot of like fun, cheesy antics, but I think I reread this recently and it's still kind of creepy. Question 2, John Ambrose McClaren, aka The Book That Got Away, or a book that may not be your all-time favorite now, but you'll always love it. I'm gonna have to go with We Were Liars by E. Lockhart for this. I remember loving the book the first time I read it. It was also one of the first books that I read when I joined BookTube, and so it still has that special sentiment in my head, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. If anything, I don't think any book is my favorite at the moment. I think the older I get, the more I just don't favorite a lot of books, and that's really sad. But yeah, I don't have my physical copy because I lent it to my friend and it's been weeks now and she hasn't returned it. I've asked for it a couple of times. She keeps avoiding the subject. Question 3, Lucas from Homecoming, aka your GBF, your favorite LGBTQ plus character or book. We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. This I read earlier this year and I absolutely loved everything about it, all the themes, all the characters, and there is an LGBT plus character in this that I really love. I forgot his name. I think his name is Diego. I really like him. This follows a boy named Henry who's having a really rough time in his life. He feels neglected at home. He's being bullied both physically and emotionally at school. Plus his boyfriend just committed suicide. On top of all of that, he just keeps getting abducted by aliens since he was a very young age who tell him to either destroy the world or save it. So yeah, it's great. I did a book review, both spoilers and non-spoiler. I will leave the link to it down below. But I also wanted to showcase another book that I really like, that kind of would fit into this category, and that would be Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. I used to absolutely love that book back in the day. I don't remember anything about it now, which is why I didn't pick it, but I think more people should read that one as well because I remember really enjoying it. Question 4, Josh Sanderson, aka The Book Next Door, a book that you love no matter how many times you read it. I don't reread a bunch of books in the traditional sense, but I do skim read a lot of my favorites, and one in particular is definitely P.S. I Like You by Casey West. I read this book and then I finished it and then I kind of went back and looked at all my favorite scenes, and I usually just, when I'm not sleeping and I'm bored, I would kind of flip through this because I did write a lot of notes inside it and like highlighted a bunch of cute things. It's about this girl who writes on her desk at school song lyrics, and then the next time she gets to that class someone has like filled in the rest of the lyrics, and it's like this pen pal anonymous kind of letter writing thing that happens, and it's cute. And if you're looking for like the equivalent of a romantic comedy, pick this up because it's nice. And the last question is Peter Kavinsky, aka your one true book love. So for my one true book love, I have two books to showcase because I feel like they fit in different categories. But for my favorite classic of all time, it would be I Captured the Castle by Dodie Smith. And I was about to say Dodie Clark. This follows a teenage girl named Cassandra who lives in this breaking down castle with her author father, her hippie stepmother, and her romantic older sister and a little brother. and she kind of writes in her diary, and it's very character driven, so I can't really say too much of the plot because it revolves around the characters and development and all that stuff. I really love this. I did a written review if you're interested to check that out. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite classics of all time. But one of my favorite, like, YA fiction book, I guess you want to say, is This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers. This follows a zombie apocalypse, and it's these teenagers that get stuck in this school, and they basically have to learn to survive. But just like any Courtney Summers books, this follows really dark themes of depression and suicide and survival, I guess. I really love the writing style in this. I really love the story and the characters and just the themes that it talked about. Absolutely love this book. It's one of my favorites of all time, so check it out. Anyway, that is all from me today. Let me know if you've done this tag down below so I can check it out. Also, let me know what you thought of the movie if you've watched it. Yeah, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon.